my first tee shot actually recorded, but I'll let this guy go. I'm gonna talk to you about a bunch of stupid mistakes that I commonly see people make. I don't know how many stupid mistakes I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna try to break 80 out here, and I'm gonna talk about a bunch of stupid mistakes that are preventing most people from even breaking 100, let alone break 80. The first one is, if you hit a bad tee shot, a lot of people will still try to go for the green in 2, even though it's way out of their comfort zone on the shot, right? So I have about 187, which is not outside of my comfort zone, so I can go for this. But for a lot of people, when I ask them, well, what is your 190 club? They don't have a 190 club, right? So they're gonna pull out any long iron and then they're just gonna whack it and hope for the best. And that's a stupid decision. What you would want to do instead is hit into a position where you feel comfortable and then get a wedge in your hand, because otherwise, if you hit a long iron, you shank it 50 yards, you shank it to the right, you're gonna be in much worse trouble than hitting a pitching wedge even there 130 and then having a wedge in your hand from there. So, I don't know if this is actually gonna go the distance that I want because I did not warm up, but we're gonna try to get this up there. If it doesn't get up there, at least I know it should be accurate enough where I get a wedge in my hand for a short chip. What the hell was that? Another reason why people aren't breaking their scores that they want to break is they hit a few bad shots in a row and then they give up. They don't try hard enough to actually scramble once the hole starts getting tough, especially if you're playing bad. I just hit 3 really bad shots, but I'm still not going to try to give up. Anyway, they don't try hard enough to actually scramble back to a good score. If they hit 3 bad shots in a row, a lot of people just kind of give up and accept that, all right, I'm just gonna max, move on to the next hole. But by doing that, you're not even allowing yourself to practice hitting better shots that you're gonna use throughout the rest of the round. So at least if you're hitting bad shots, just get some practice in. Damn, I was really hoping it would roll down. At least get some practice shots in so you can figure out your swing, so you're not making the same poor swing mistakes that you're doing throughout the rest of the round. So this is hole 1. So I don't already want to get in my head about, damn, you really kind of choked up, ruined a lot of your whole round straight off the bat. Oh wow. I mean, they're aerated, so I should have expected that it was gonna go nowhere, but I didn't expect that. Wow, they're real slow. That's okay. We'll turn this into a practice round, maybe not a scoring round. Another mistake that I see is after a bad hole, especially if it's the first hole, the second hole, a lot of people just give up. They don't have the mental fortitude to actually power through and figure out, hey, it's one bad hole. There's no difference between a bad hole on the first hole versus the 17th hole versus the 5th hole. It's really just about what your mind is telling you about this bad hole. If I'm telling myself that I'm gonna have a bad round because I had a bad hole on the first hole, well then I'm gonna have a bad round. If I tell myself that, all right, you have plenty of golf left, well then at least take an approach where I'm going to try my best to actually get back to a good round. If I par off from here, I have a great round. If I give up, I'm gonna max out. All right, we like to see that. The big thing that you notice, the difference between that swing and my first swing was, I realized that I swung too stiff, too hard on the first swing, which resulted in a bad shot. So I slowed it down. I focused on swinging smooth, not changing my swing. And as a result, I hit a bomb. And we like to see that. So the other mistake that I see is on a par 5, people will pull out, once again, the longest iron that they can and try to go for it. I hit a great drive. It's par 5 though, and I still have 230 yards left. I don't really have a comfortable 230 yard club in the bag. So I'm just gonna hit a 5 iron, hopefully let it hit up there, carry around 200, maybe roll out, and get a short wedge in my hand. That's the goal, that's the hope. And I learned from my mistakes on the first hole, and I'm gonna swing smooth, not hard. Hooked it, damn it. All right, it's fine. It's near the cart path. We'll still have a wedge in our hand. The big thing that you wanna remember is, just because I hit a bad shot, I have a bad hole, I really don't wanna let that take away from what I actually enjoy about golf, which is being outside, challenging myself. A lot of people will just be unhappy with their whole rounds of golf, which then results in them being unhappy for a few days during the week. And then the beating themselves up, think I suck, you're not enjoying what got you into golf in the first place. So it's really good just to focus on how do I enjoy what I'm actually doing right now, which is playing golf. You're playing a game. A lot of people don't have the privilege to play the game. Oh, is that too far? What? Man, that flew. Damn it. Oh, well, now I'm in the bunker a long ways away. I think it flew like 130, but a 60 degree. It's all right. Sand doesn't feel that hard, so I'm gonna try to clip it a little bit more. That's it. Not bad. I made a mess of a good drive, but it's okay. I'm not gonna get in my head about it. I'm just gonna accept that, hey, what happens sometimes. I'm gonna chip this. Just because it's aerated. Ooh, the reason why they're short par 4 is because they're hard. You can go for it if you're gonna land it perfectly, but you're not going to. Most people aren't. So what you wanna do is just be safe, hit into a safe spot. But a lot of mistakes is really trying to get as close as possible to the green when you don't have the accuracy to do that. I even saw a whole Reddit thread about it where a guy was breaking down how hitting it as far as you can is gonna leave you in a better spot, which is great for PGA players because they have the accuracy. You and I most likely don't have the accuracy to hit it long and far and accurate. So you wanna choose accuracy over distance. So I'm gonna swing gentle, swing smooth, and try to get it out there into a safe spot. I'm not gonna go for it, even though it's 290. Oh, I think I hit it into the water. Yes, I did. I did the same thing twice. A mistake that I made on that last hole was actually not aligning properly. If you'll see the replay, which I may put up, I just kind of walked up to it, and a lot of people make that mistake. They don't actually pick a target where to align it to. If I was playing my draw and aimed over there, it would have been perfect. But instead, I just kind of walked up to it and did not line for the draw, which is my fault. It was my fault, and that's the mistake that I made. And now, here I are. All right, here I am with a +1 because I was too hasty to actually line up. The reality is you're not gonna hit a straight shot. So you need to actually align and play your shot shape, whether you like it or not. But because you don't align properly and don't align it for your shot shape, well, then you make a lot of pointless mistakes and you lose a lot of shots. If you play a slice, ideally you don't want to play the slice. You want to work on that. But if I'm playing a slice, if I'm playing a fade, don't try to hit a draw. Don't try to hit it straight because it's not going to happen. That's the reality. Is hitting a straight shot is nice and all, but you're introducing a two-way miss, which is why pros play their shot shape. They are slow. Play your shot shape and align for that and slow down. It takes more time to try to find your ball than it does to play a shot shape, accept it, than it does to actually just align properly in the first place. So hopefully I've learned from a mistake on the last hole. I've learned the draw's coming out, play the draw. I'm going to align properly this time and hopefully gonna have a good result. My miss left would be in the water, so I'm really gonna try to aim more out towards that bunker and hopefully let it draw in. If it goes straight, cool. If it goes right, fine. I can miss right. I don't want to miss it left. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick a spot. I already did. I picked this little spot right here, patch of sand. I'm gonna line my club face and my body to it, and I'm gonna swing along that line. And there we go. A little baby draw out there. Everybody's happy because I learned from my mistakes. The other reality is if my aligning and my shot shape is gonna introduce a hazard, well then I wanna pick a club that is not gonna introduce that hazard too. So if my driver, I know I'm hooking it, or I play a big slice, but it goes over no man's land, I don't wanna play it, right? Because I wanna play a club that's gonna leave me in the safest spot possible. You don't always need to pull out your driver, which I speak about all the time, that a lot of people make the mistake, where they don't know their distance with their driver, and yet they're pulling out the driver, hoping to bomb it, some magical number in their mind that they just created out of nowhere, based on no actual evidence, and they're hoping for the best. And in turn, you're introducing double bogeys, triple bogeys into your round, and your round is ruined. You're not gonna break 100 now because you're doing that every single time and you don't learn your lesson. That's short. We're on. It's not a great strike. We're on. So I take that and I'm happy. The other thing that I see people do a lot when it comes to putting is you don't use the line. I even played a scramble the other day where people weren't using the line of their putts, and that doesn't help your scramble team at all. Why? Because I don't know if you hit a good putt or not because I can't see the line of the ball. I don't know where you're aiming, and most people have poor aim when it comes to their line and their reads. So use the line of the ball, and then you can easily know, was it my read or was it my stroke? Even especially for long putts, because you're gonna hit it a lot harder and you get introduced a lot more mistakes. So just use the line. Ooh. Oh man, did you see it jump over the hole? What kind of shit is that? I mean, I get it, aerated greens, it was bumpy. I'm not even taking that on the course because the course has to do this. The other mistake that I see a lot of people do is when you're playing with other people, you introduce your ego or laziness. I guess ego and laziness is usually one of the biggest mistakes for most people. Ooh, it's hot. When choosing the club, you introduce your ego into the decision or laziness. Oh, what club are you hitting? If I say I'm hitting a 9, that doesn't tell you anything about why I'm hitting a 9. I have 150 yards. My 9 iron goes 155, but I'm choosing it maybe because I'm hitting a cut into the wind. Maybe I'm hitting it because I don't feel confident in full swing and a pitching wedge. There's a lot of different factors. You should choose your club based off of, there's a little patch of grass behind it, based off of what numbers that you like for that number, for that target. If you don't know, I mean, you can go to the range a little bit or just learn throughout the round or your experience with golf. Don't just choose a random club or don't choose a club based off of what your friends are actually hitting because they're making a whole bunch of dumb or educated decisions based off of it that may not be an important factor in your decision. It did not cut. Well, we're gonna have a long putt. Because I made a decision based off of my club, maybe I'm playing with other people and I didn't make the decision based on evidence of my own brain and my own skill level, and I resulted in a bad shot. Now I gotta make up that bad shot, and I just lost a few shots because I let my ego or laziness get into the way of choosing the right club. Man, look how much that slows down. The last time I played this place was pure, so, you know, I'm not taking any hard feelings or considerations into it. It's just that time of the year where you need to prepare it so it can be pure in the future. Ooh. If you're still watching, I want to know. I've realized that I need to lose some weight, and I want to know who else would be interested in a little series about the psychology of weight loss and how you can use golf to lose weight. Because that's what I'm planning to do, use more golf to lose weight, aside from everything else that you need to do. But a big reason for that is a lot of people feel much more motivated when you have a support system, people holding you accountable, and, you know, even giving you support on losing weight. So I think it could be fun, just getting a little bit more people out there losing weight. I'm going to do it regardless, but I think it could be something that could help people. So I want to know, would you be interested? Comment below if you're still watching. Whoa, that was a mistake for me. That was a terrible shot, but it was in the fairway. So it's not that bad. I don't think I'm going to break 80 today because I'm just not focused enough. And for me, I got to focus to really shoot around that score. But I'll still focus on breaking 90. Damn, that was way over the top. The big thing that I have not been doing is I'm hitting some bad shots. I'm not really getting angry, but I do need to pause, breathe, and reset, like I spoke about before. Take a moment, take a second, take a deep breath, big exhale, longer than you inhale, and you reset. What do I need to do right now? I don't need to think about that bad shot. I don't need to think about I'm pulling it left. Stop pulling it left. I need to think about, hey, get this on the green and get a wedge in. I mean, get a putter in your hand. Well, it's on the green. The other reality that you need to make sometimes is determining, am I actually in the right mindset to have a scoring round if I want to have a scoring round? Right, so my expectations today were, hey, go in there and try to break 80. I'm out here, I'm playing, I realize, hey, I'm not in the right mindset to try to break 80. I don't really feel like focusing that hard. So I'm just gonna have a practice round. It's not to say that I'm not going to just give up on the whole round. I still want to score pretty well, but I'm not going to try to take the intense focus to break 80. Maybe I'll try to just have a casual round breaking 90. Or I'll try some new things. But if your round is not going the way that you want it, you kind of have to accept that, hey, I can't force it. This is just not the round for me. And we all have those rounds. That's the reality of it. And it's okay. Oh, that was a bomb, boy. Whew. That felt good. All right. I'm swinging up to the top. Leave your arms out. Still to the left. Sorry. The big thing with making mistakes is that it's like walking on ice. You can easily just lose focus for 1 second, make a dumb decision, make an ego decision, make a stupid decision, and then it can easily snowball into a whole bunch of other mistakes. It just compounds into putting yourself in worse positions, which in golf, you don't need. So when you catch yourself making a mistake, which you will do, everyone does, you really want to try to catch a mistake in, okay, what can I do now to try to put myself into a better position? Trying to minimize the amount of times that we don't recognize that we're making a mistake is going to be important. So essentially trying to maximize how often do I recognize that I'm making a mistake is going to help you minimize the amount of mistakes, but also accepting that, hey, I made a mistake. I need to actually learn from it and accept that, hey, what can I do now to fix my mistake? As opposed to beating myself up or trying to deny that I made a mistake in the first place. Oh, that was the bird. People do this a lot in real life too, and I see it all the time with my clients where instead of just admitting that they made a mistake, they will double down on the mistakes that they made or deny it. By doing that, you're not allowing yourself the freedom to fix and accept that I need to fix the mistake or find a solution for that mistake that you just made. So really try to work on accepting and getting rid of the ego that, hey, I made a mistake. That's okay. How do I fix it? What is the thing that I need to do right here? I say that all the time, and that's what you need to focus on in golf and in real life. Come back. Oh, that's short. I guess I hit it kind of chunky. Another mistake that I see a lot of people do is they don't check the distance for the wedge shots. You hear a lot of them say, oh, this is just a feel shot. You don't have the feeling. You don't know what the feeling is yet because you haven't dialed it in. Just get the number. It's 17 yards to the front, 35 to the middle. So I could try to land this 17 yards and be okay. But if in my mind, I'm like, damn, this kind of looks like a little far, maybe 30 yards. I don't know if I made a mistake in my swing or my judgment of how far I went. So just don't be lazy. Understand how far it is and then hit that number. Oh, that just died. I landed it where I wanted it. Just ultimately, most mistakes are going to be a result of stupidity, your ego, or laziness. At least that's what I see most of the time. Stupidity only comes in once you make a decision based off your ego or laziness. If it's ignorance, like you don't know, that's okay. That's a learning process. If you know my club does not go 160 and I'm hitting a pitching wedge trying to hit it 160, that's stupid. That's your ego trying to get in the way. If I don't know how far it is and I just choose a club based on that, that's laziness. If I know how far it is and I don't know what club that goes that length, hey, that's ignorance and you can learn from that. Also, getting up off every tee with the driver in your hand and whacking it as hard as you can, that's your ego and that's stupidity. Oh man, I am killing this driver today. Whew. I was gonna stop because I'm tired and I'm just beat up, but man, this driver's so good. Ultimately, you really want to try to work on your awareness of, hey, when am I making a stupid decision based off of my ego or laziness? This is not my ball, my ball's up there. But I'm just hitting this ball because I found it. But when am I making a decision about ego or laziness? And by doing that, by increasing your awareness, I guarantee that you're going to drop a whole bunch of strokes because you're going to start compounding better decisions, better positions, and you're going to stop losing as many balls, and you're going to stop the spiral of negativity in your mind. And that's what we want. That's a good thing. Good. Oh, damn. It's still long. I cannot hit this pitching wedge. Hopefully you learned something. I learned that my pitching wedge is going like 150 yards, 160 yards. Nope. Well, going back to the cart. Anyway, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I had a long weekend. Ultimately, hopefully you learned something. If you did, comment below what stupid decisions you find yourself making. And also, you know, share it with your mom, your dad. Tag your grandma in the comments. I don't know. It's hot. I'm sweating. Tired. Peace.